Samlesbury Hall is a historic house in Samlesbury, Lancashire, England, 6 miles east of Preston. It was built in 1325 by Gilbert de Southworth and was the primary home of the Southworth family until the early 17th century. Samlesbury Hall may have been built to replace an earlier building destroyed during a raid by the Scots during the Great Raid of 1322. The hall has been many things in its past, including a public house and a girls' boarding school, but since 1925, when it was saved from being demolished for its timber, it has been administered by a registered charitable trust, the Samlesbury Hall Trust. This Grade 1 listed medieval manor house attracts more than 50,000 visitors each year. Before being owned by the Southworths, Samlesbury Manor belonged to the Edwin family. Gilbert de Southwark of Warrington acquired half of the manor by marriage to Alice de Uwaras and is credited with building the Great Hall around 1325. His great-grandson Thomas built the south-west wing. Southworth descendants held their part of the manor until 1677 to 78, when it was sold by Edward Southworth to Thomas Brady.
Has it?
It was just spiking all the way up to bed, like quite a lot.
Oh, that's really good. That is interesting.
Yep. Oh, yeah. Some close the door.
Where we are now is where the
white ladies being seen on the premises by staff. Now, the Great Hall, right, is where they performed most of the meals within the property itself, right? Now, staff have already told us about the white lady passing through this hallway. Now, as we are with two guests, Leah and Cass, and Leah has been holding the EMF reader, and she has been picking up strong signals on the EMF reader regarding the activity that is in this property, and we are all feeling there is something here. Now, I've got the spirit box talking in my pocket as we're walking around the property, and things that we are saying to each other, it's being responded to on the spirit talker as well. We're going to be moving on now to the rest of the property to see if we can contact the white lady.
Thank you. I'm really glad you've joined us. You've just been up to your old room. Is that really your old room? Yeah. Yeah. Okay, if you want us to stay, will you light it up to red? Are you in the room with us right now? But whatever was here for quite a long time, so it must have been really draining.
And I got a lot of it on video.
Yeah,
Send you the video.
With Mum.
excellent.
Yeah.
With Mum asking questions multiple times.
Oh, brilliant. The story of this room is quite interesting, to say the least. It says that over 500 years ago, there was a priest discovered in the priest hole, which is here. the guards pulled him from his hiding place and decided to take matters into their own hands by beheading the priest in this very spot. Years later, many would complain about a reoccurring red stain that refused to be removed. Some say reappears to this very day.
So this is a witch's room, isn't it?
Witch's room. This is a haunted room.
Does she say press the button?
Huh? Press the button.
Shall we?
Yeah, go on.
This room is haunted. It belongs to Lady Dorothea Southworth, an Elizabethan daughter of the household, and it is said that her ghost still walks here. Dorothea Southworth was a notable woman, beautiful, kind, and defiant. Her father was Sir John Southworth. He was the High Sheriff of Lancashire and a devoutly Catholic man. Dorothea fell in love with a son of the de Horton family, not here in Samlesbury, but at nearby Horton Tower. But the de Hortons were a Protestant household, and neither house approved their star-crossed union. After permission to marry was refused, the pair met secretly in the grounds of the hall, conceiving a plan to elope. But even noble families are not immune to tragedy. Dorothea's brother, Christopher Southworth, overheard his sister's plans, and on the night in question he waited in ambush at the planned meeting place. Sword met sword, as Christopher murdered Dorothea's suitor and his two soldiers in a blood-soaked rage. The skeletons of all three were unearthed in 1878, just beyond the walls of this room. Dorothea was banished to live out her life at a convent in France, where she descended into a grief-fueled madness and died of a broken heart. Denounced by her family, all records of her ever having existed were destroyed. Lady Dorothea Southworth is thought by many to be Lancashire's most famous ghost, and it is said that she still haunts her old room. This room. Here.
Okay guys, so we are exploring the grounds of Samlesbury Hall, right? It's 9 o'clock at night, right? We have got Leah and Cass taking the second camera and they're doing their own investigation, right? Me and Alan are here, right, and we're exploring the areas that no visitors ever go, right? Now, we are in search of the White Lady tonight, right? Now, her real name is Dorothy, okay? Now, we will show you some we've showed you the footage of what the hall itself has said about the lady and everything else, right? But what we're doing tonight is trying to find the actual spirits. Now, rumours have it that the White Lady, right, has been known to walk the grounds at night, specifically in the Rose Garden, and that is where we are going to end up, where we'll meet Leah and Cass. So, we are going to show you exactly what the grounds will entail, right, and anything at all that we pick up, you guys are going to see.
On our second night, we decided we were going to go and walk around Samlesbury Hall grounds at night time, explore the different areas, see if we could encounter any activity, see if any spirits were with us. I'm wandering around here with my daughter who's filming, and I remember at this point just feeling completely calm. I didn't sense anything. I'm looking at the EMF monitor and nothing was going off there. It's really strange though, in light of some of the experiences we had a little bit later in the evening, that the sound seems to have gone on our video. Something else I noticed as well on this part, we'd experienced a black crow at the bottom of Pendle Hill the previous night, and this night as we're wandering round, again another black crow appeared in one of the trees. I don't know, I didn't really feel that it was anything to think about too much, but just something to call out, a little bit unusual. But we continued to wander around the grounds as we're coming up here to the manor house. I was hoping and wondering if the White Lady, or Dorothy, who had a room here when she was a young girl, may perhaps try and interact with us, as we'd had some activity on the monitor earlier in the day. As we stood here, we were the park area, the child's playground area was in the background, and it did feel a little bit creepy here, but more because of just where we were stood. I think more than anything, I didn't really sense anything or feel anything to be afraid of. It just looked a little bit spooky, I think is the right word. We continued to walk around, and we was asking nicely to see if any spirits would want to come and communicate with us, and I'm explaining why we're there and letting them know my name. So hoping and praying that something would come through for us. nothing continued to happen. Everything stayed calm. The monitor didn't light up, and I was just starting to think, no, that there's nothing going to be happening tonight. And up until now, I'd been really fortunate that the monitor had lit up quite a lot for me. So we walked further towards the manor house. The black crow seemed to follow us around, again flying and landing on the trees above where we were, which again quite interesting and makes you wonder why. We went down one side of the manor house, which is a little side path down the side of the hall that would lead to the rose garden. And wondered if we'd get anything there, because apparently there's a lot of activity being reported in that area. But I'm just not getting anything lighting up at all. No unusual sense of anything. Me and my daughter were just talking a lot about Dorothy and if she would potentially try and interact with us, because we felt like we'd had that interaction during the day when we'd been looking around the manor. But sadly nothing was happening, so we continued on our way. Went further round towards the other side of the manor. And a couple of seated areas that we were approaching. And at this point we came upon the seated area, the first of two different seated areas. And that's where I had the first sense or feeling that there was something touching the back of my left shoulder. It felt like a hand shape was touching the back of my left shoulder. And you'll see in the video that I'm touching my shoulder, and that was when I was feeling something was there. It was really hard to explain, but I didn't feel scared or frightened or anything. I just felt like there was something there that I couldn't really put my finger on, and it just wasn't going away, this feeling of cold. And then my daughter asked that it touch my scarf and move the scarf that I was wearing, if something was there. And unfortunately that didn't happen, but what did happen, and unfortunately you can't see, which is typical, is I felt my backpack get nudged on my back. So yeah, that was an experience, and like I said, it wasn't frightening. It was interesting, but something definitely happening to me. What that was, I don't know.
Okay guys, so we're here outside of the actual hall itself now, right? And it is absolutely freezing cold out here, right? I mean, I've got the EMF reader out and it's showing 17.4 Celsius, right? Now, we've had a walk around and we've found places of interest, right? We found a children's playground. Now, we will be going to the children's playground tonight, right? Because I don't know what it is with children's playground, but spirits like to collect there, right? Especially young children. Now, what you guys don't probably know, right, is that we've been speaking to staff earlier, and staff members have told us, right, that there are children on the property, right, and people have heard children playing on the property. So what better place but to go to a playground at night, okay? So we're going to go there in a minute, right? Now, as you can see, this hall lit up tonight, right? It's it's quite eerie, you know. So you can kind of see where all the ghost stories have come from. You can see where the kind of way people feel with the eeriness and everything else, right? But yeah, I mean, but like I said, I mean, people who are in the paranormal field, they have come here. We've had people from TV come here as well, in search of the person who we are searching for. Now, so I know that it's kind of controversial because we've all seen the fakeness of it, but we've had Most Haunted here. But the only person within Most Haunted who's got any credibility is
Richard Felix.
yeah, Richard Felix. Right. So he's turned around and said on, like, for the public that this place does have a paranormal presence, and that's kind of what we're going off, you know, because he said it. So anyway, we are going to go to the Rose Garden because that's where staff have told us that the most activity is. So we are heading there.
Also, you have the Grey Lady walking around the grounds.
Yeah, and this is why we have taken 2 cameras, 2 parts of our team, right, travelling and trying to find proof of the Grey Lady.
We were then talking, me and my daughter talking there because I could still feel something on my left shoulder again. And again, I still didn't feel scared at all. It was quite an unusual feeling. It was almost calm. You can see Lee and Alan in the background. But I could feel that whatever had been there was gone, was starting to go. And although I'd had this cold feeling on the back of my left shoulder, there was not really any activity on the monitor that was holding, which surprised me because I had had a lot of activity during the day in the manor hall and the evening before at Pendle Hill. Yeah.
Okay guys, so we've just met up with Leah and Cass, and they told us that in this specific area, Leah has had contact with a spirit. She's felt a handprint touch her on the shoulder, and they wanted proof, but the EMF reader wasn't picking it up, and they said they're going to camera proof. So what we're going to do now is that we're going to do exactly the same thing. We are going to walk through this area, but we're not going to have any lights on. What you're watching right now, we've got the IR sensor on. Right, this is why the image is black and white. Well, I'm going to walk through, and then Alan and myself, we're going to be open to any touches or any feels or anything like that. And when we do, we'll let you guys know. And if we do get the same experiences, right, then we'll hover around this area and try and make the meters go off. So we will have the concrete evidence. So, is there anyone on this grounds with us right now? My name is Lee, and I am with Alan, and we are talking specifically to Dorothy, also known as the White Lady. Now, Dorothy, we know your story, and it is such a tragic tale. All your crime was is that you fell in love and you wanted to get married, but your two families could not understand that, and it's such a sad tale. It really is. Now, Dorothy, I want to let you know that we are on your side. We want you to know that we understand, and what the brothers did, it shouldn't have happened. They should have allowed you to marry your true love. So, Dorothy, will you let us know that you're okay? You could do anything possible in your power to let us know that you're okay, because you are the most important thing to us. Because we do truly believe that what happened to you was unjust, and you should have found happiness. So can you please let us know that you're here? You can make my thing I've got in my hand go off by coming close to me. You could touch either of us, just to let you know that you're here. Or if you've got enough energy within you, you can make yourself known to us by showing yourself on camera. Let's just walk close to the house.
Mm-hmm.
Dorothy, you had a really, really nice house. Really nice. And we have seen your room as well. You know. And we've seen how beautiful you are. You're a very pretty girl. So you understand that, you know, you was in love, you know, you found someone special. So, look, we know, right, that we are not in your league. To you, we're commoners. Especially with the property that you've got. We know. But all we ask is that you just make yourself present to us. Show us who you are, just so we can tell people your story from your own words, you know?
Then we went into the children's play area, and there was everything was calm, wasn't feeling anything, wasn't sensing anything, and we were calling out to see if there was any spirits there. And you'll see in the background there's like a miniature version of Samlesbury Hall built as a playhouse. And when you look at that, that is quite eerie to look at. It's very dark. It makes you wonder, you know, what's in there, if anything hiding from you, waiting to jump out. But once we'd had a bit of a chuckle about that, we then proceeded to ask out if any spirits were with us, and we were both quite calm, and both of us saying nothing's happening here, everything feels fine, not sensing anything at all. And then we was just about to leave, and I heard 3 footsteps from behind me, almost coming from behind the playhouse that's in the background. Now, all over the playground were like sawdust, but big pieces of sawdust, wooden sawdust scattered all over the floor because it was muddy. So they scattered some wood to protect that. And the 3 footsteps that I heard were very, very clear, very distinctly. Sounded to me like 3 footsteps crunching on the wood chips behind me. And I expected, or half expected, Alan and Lee to appear, because I know they'd been looking for the play area. And I thought, oh, maybe they've climbed over all the fences and they were going to come in. So I just kept having a look around me, thinking maybe they're behind the playhouse still and they've not noticed that we're here yet. But then they just weren't appearing. Nobody was appearing. No animals were appearing. To be fair, they would have had to be big animals. They were 3 real footsteps. It wasn't in the distance, it wasn't muffled or faint, it was extremely clear. So I keep pointing, because after that there was a pause, and then I heard another 2 footsteps after that. So I was explaining this to my daughter, who said, that's really strange, one, because I heard the exact same footsteps that you've heard, but it sounded like they were behind her. And again, she said they were really, really clear, but to both of us, it sounded that it was coming from different directions. But I kept pointing, and I was saying, no, I definitely heard it there, 3 footsteps, and then 2 footsteps after the break. And we started to talk about how we really wanted Lee and Alan to appear and solve the mystery, but Lee and Alan were not there. They did not appear. They hadn't found the playground at all at this point. So, yeah, really interesting, and didn't really spook us too much at that point. But my daughter did keep looking behind, and you can see on the camera she turns around, because she was convinced that the noises, the footsteps, have come from behind her. So we were like sort of saying, no, you're wrong. And she was telling me, no, you're wrong. After a while, we decided that nothing else was happening, and we decided to leave, and still not really feeling frightened or scared or anything. And then we go back down the footpath, and the camera cuts out just as we get to that point, but the footpath was the scariest part. I don't know why, but a sense of fear came over us, even though we had the torches, and I just wanted to run.
We were speaking to staff earlier, and one of the members of the reception team, they told us, right, that up there in that long corridor, children have been heard playing, running around and making noises, right? Now, unfortunately, we haven't on this trip been able to get access to that. So we gave the next best thing, and we showed you what it is on the outside. But what we're going to do now, we're going to stand underneath it and see if we can hear anything that was relating to footsteps, running, even voices. Hopefully guys, we can pick something up on camera. I'm calling out to the children of this great hall to make yourself known to me. Could you make a bang, a tap, a noise? Just let us know that you're here with us. I don't want to be rude, so I'll introduce myself. So my name is Lee, and I'm with Alan.
As you're coming off, if you go up the car park there, it's just on the right. It's like
Oh.
a little not a mud path. It's got like bits of stuff down. But just as you get into the entrance to the park, there's a little bit of minor mud.
Okay.
But nothing. And there's like sawdust piles. So we didn't go too far in because it got a bit muddy around the sides. But we stopped so that the house was behind us. So have a see. But where I felt most creeped out was the path when we were coming out, and we were filming. Luke, there's nothing behind us for the footsteps I'd heard, and Cass was like, there's nothing behind me for the footsteps that I think I've heard.
No.
And it might be down like we'll look down the path, maybe somebody's on the path. But then we got really nervous, and we turned the camera off, and we didn't.
Equally,
film
because I
down the
didn't want to
path.
drop the camera as well.
Yeah,
being
it was a bit
honest.
worried because it was a bit muddy on that bit.
But we
Then
turned
were
the
like,
camera.
after. We were like, we need to just go now because we got a bit nervous, and then we.
But then we
like,
turned the camera back on and explained what we felt, and we both felt the same thing. It was intense. It was dread. It was a bit dark, a bit eerie. And then we went back up to the bench where Mum felt the hand.
Yeah.
But I had a go this time, and it flashed orange for a second.
Okay.
After
It pressed down on my shoulders.
Oh, really?
Both. It didn't feel like hands, but it felt like something was putting pressure on both my shoulders.
Was it straight after? I think I just say, are you all right? I can feel that hand on my shoulder again.
It was
And you
around the
just
same
said,
time.
the hands are pressing down on my shoulders, Mum, like that, and then she carried on talking to it.
Because I kept bringing up, because there's a witch room, and obviously back then witches weren't exactly acceptable. I kept bringing up the fact that I was a witch, that this is a good luck charm with a spell on it. Didn't really taunt it much, but was saying like, come on, you did something before, do it again.
Yeah.
It felt eerie again, but it's just around that.
And then it flashed, didn't it?
It
When
flashed.
you said that, she said if she felt her shoulders again. I think she said that, and then this went orange.
See, that feeds down to my theory. Maybe me and Alan aren't doing anything because we're both male. You two are female. Now, because we've had where we are and a history linked to the property, you two would feel it more, being female.
Possibly. Then there's all at the back of my mind is like, are we being oversensitive? Is it just, it's hard? But then some of this has happened with this.
Yeah, but that's the thing. I don't think it is being oversensitive. I think right, because think about it logically, right. So logically speaking, witches, right, they hated men. Women hated men back then because of the way they was treated, the way they was prosecuted, and everything else, right? Okay, so who are they going to talk to?
Going to talk to women, Laura.
They're not gonna
I
talk
get
to
it.
men
And
like
if there
that.
is any witches here, they'd talk to another witch.
Yeah, exactly. And I just want to point out where we're standing right now. Yeah. This is, Alan told me earlier, this is where the children were playing
Right,
with us. This is the long hall.
right.
So that could explain why that
Why
it
that
keeps
was going
flashing.
off then.
Yeah.
Yeah. Final part of our investigation in the grounds on this evening was to go and visit the Rose Garden, where there has been a lot of activity reported apparently, and the staff at the manor tell us that this is where we should go, that the more active area of the grounds. So we wander around the back, and again my daughter's filming me here, and I'm just asking out, see if anybody's there, and not getting anything on the monitor at all, not feeling anything or sensing anything. Everything feels quite calm and comfortable. So we continue there for a few moments, see if we can get any activity or see if anybody wants to join us. Beautiful, beautiful part of the grounds here. Quite secluded, away from the main part of the building and the main grounds. So a lovely spot to spend a little time, certainly in the daytime. But night time, we thought we might perhaps encounter something. We are stood right next to the manor where the White Lady, or Dorothy, used to live as a young girl, and that's a spirit that is said to haunt the manor. But up to this point, nothing is coming through and nothing's happening. So we continue to ask out, checking the monitor, keeping a close eye on that. Got a tiny flash, I think. I think it went up to amber very briefly. But other than that, there wasn't really anything happened at that point. And then we moved over to the left side of the garden. And it was when we were over on this side is when I started to sense something and feel something. After a while, I felt that something was cold again on my left side. And as if I was stood next to a block of ice, so it wasn't like a cold breeze or anything like that. And I'm actually wearing weatherproof clothing that prevents wind, etc. I still was trying to rule out, was it wind or anything else, but I can very much feel like there's somebody or something stood to my left, almost like as if, you know when you feel like you're going to look over your shoulder and you're going to see somebody just stood there waiting to talk to you. But I couldn't shift this sense that there was something down my left side, and it was all down my left side, from head to toe, very much like, as I said, like as if I was stood next to a block of ice, or not like a cold wind blowing at me or a cold breeze, nothing blowing cold at me, very much like a sense of being stood next to something that was radiating cold. And I wasn't at all frightened. I didn't feel scared. I didn't feel nervous. I just wanted to know what was there. And I turn around to try and rule out any possibility that I'm feeling some kind of cold air coming from one direction. However, whatever is causing this cold feeling is following me around and is staying on my left side, completely on my left side. Even when I spin round, it's just down my left side. It's very, very clearly cold temperature-wise down that side compared to the rest of my body temperature, so much so it really stands out. It's so hard to explain as well, because it is just a feeling or a sense of something. I desperately wanted the monitor to light up to sort of show that there was some energy there besides just what I was feeling and sensing. Desperately wanting to prove that there's more to this. It's not just me saying the words. And also I wanted something to prove and acknowledge that whatever it is I'm feeling is real. And then all of a sudden, you can see I'm waving my hand around. It was like a switch and it had just gone. Whatever I was feeling had gone in an instant. And I was fine, back to my normal temperature. Now, throughout all of this, I didn't feel weird, unusual. I didn't feel like anything was messing with my head or anything. And you know, up until this trip with Lee and Alan, I'd never had any personal experiences, that anything that I'd seen or felt or happened to me personally. But whatever it was I've been experiencing through this trip definitely seems to have some kind of attachment to my left side. It was my left shoulder earlier in the night, when we were stood near the benches, that I felt that cold presence. This time completely down my left side from head to toe. So it was interesting and nice. That if it was something that it chose to trust me, to make its presence felt and make its presence known. I found it quite fascinating, as well, that my response to these things happening to me wasn't what I would have expected. So I've always been very, very interested in anything spiritual, but also equally very afraid that I would experience something that would really scare me, and I just wasn't ready for it. But these 2 days, I really opened myself up and invited the spirits that may be there to make themselves known to me. And actually my experience was overall positive and left me feeling, actually, I don't need to be afraid. It isn't, necessarily something that's going to try to scare me, that perhaps somebody somewhere just wants to be known, wants to be remembered, and perhaps just wanted to join us for a little chat for a while. But yeah, a wonderful experience. I just wish so much that something else there had happened or lit up the monitor just to reinforce what it was that I was feeling. That would have been the dream. It really would. But yeah, wonderful experience.
I call out to the spirits to enter this circle in our collective energy, to make yourself known to us, either by the devices around the room or through the devices we have in front of us. So can you please come forward in communicating with us? So I'm going to go around the table and introduce ourselves. So my name is Lee.
I'm Alan.
I'm Leah.
I'm Cassidy.
We mean you no harm. We just want to talk. So could we ask your name?
Encounter.
Could you give us a name, please? The meter's trying to go off, isn't it? Okay, so you've seen us walking the property, and we've asked you a number of questions throughout the time we've been here, and we've experienced you in a different types of ways. So we are asking you to come forward and making yourself more direct. So could you be more direct towards us by making yourself known to us? So I ask you again.
Are you frightened?
No.
No, we are not frightened.
Are you frightened?
You're safe here.
Thank you.
But you still haven't gave us your name. Could you give us a name? Could you make a bang for us? A sound. Just let us know that you're here with us.
Patience.
We've got lots of patience. But we are still waiting for your name to come through. So we was here yesterday and an angry voice come through, which is quite aggressive. Could you tell me who that voice was?
Family.
Yeah,
It
I
was.
wonder
mean-
why. Is that because we're strangers and now they're used to us?
Yeah.
today?
Yeah,
So
possibly.
they're not quite as aggressive.
Yeah.
but I mean, none of that makes sense to me.
No.
Encounter, are you frightened? We've never done nothing.
Yeah, you're safe here.
You're safe. It doesn't
Sounds
make
like
any
they're
sense.
just words.
Yeah.
At worst, it doesn't make
Doesn't
any
make
sense.
any sense. Yeah.
But the meter was going off, wasn't it?
Yeah.
earlier?
Yeah.
Yeah, it did go up to well on amber a few times.
So I'm
Your
thinking,
face.
What did it say?
your face.
Your face. No, yours.
So
Yeah.
the only problem is with using a necrophonic app, where you have to really listen to
Yeah.
it. to
That's the
make-
one what came through last night, was it?
Yeah.
Where it
was.
told you to go.
I'm not good with hearing stuff, but I trust you guys to say that
Yeah.
it said that, and I will believe you guys.
Me and Lee, we heard a few of the same words, didn't we, last
We did.
night? I
We
think, did you not? You heard it say go, didn't you?
I just knew it did not like me.
Yeah. Yeah.
I knew from like how it was saying, you know, how it was pronouncing things.
Yeah, it was.
It was angry
sounded
with me and it
angry,
didn't
yeah.
want, and
Yeah.
I knew I could tell it didn't want me there.
Yeah.
It was.
But I
angry,
couldn't tell what it was saying. But when you guys said it said go, I believed you. I was like, yeah, that checks out.
Yeah.
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 But it's good to have someone else who's the
Yeah.
same
But
words.
we both
Yeah.
heard it together. That
Yeah.
we
So-
definitely heard that.
I will believe you guys if you say like
have to be
it
able
says
to
it wants
listen.
to behead you.
You have
I
to
will
like
believe
do
you.
listen in between. It's hard, isn't it, to
Yeah.
start picking it up? 'Cause sometimes words are said that nobody else hears, and
Yeah.
vice versa. But listen, there's a lot of noise,
Well,
and then
you telling me to listen does not mean I'm going to automatically hear
Listen.
everything.
Okay, let's do
Okay.
it.
But these
Go back there.
apps have some kind of phrases, don't they? They're
Yeah.
sort of built into the
Yeah.
app itself.
Yeah, that's
And so
right.
over the time that we've been listening to
Yeah,
it, not this, but all, like a couple of years,
yeah,
you get to know what's in there
yeah,
and you know what's right and what's
Yeah.
fake.
yeah,
Yeah.
Mm.
But the things that when it comes to spiritual crap and stuff like that, well, we use it because it pronounces the words itself. But
yeah.
the only time that's actually realistic is when it happens. You know, I said to you about
When it's in
timing.
response, yeah,
You know,
or it fits, yeah,
that's when it's only accurate because it's the timing.
yeah,
With the necrophonic app, there is no timing.
yeah.
If it comes through, and
Yeah.
that's it.
And,
Which
yeah.
is what makes it the most realistic.
Yeah.
Because what it is,
Alright.
Yeah,
it goes up. If you can imagine like like the old school radios.
Yeah,
Imagine one of them,
yeah,
and someone turning them up very, very quick. That creates white noise,
right.
and the white noise is what spirits speaks through
Yeah,
because they can grasp to it. That's basically how the necrophonic app works,
right.
and that's why you hear all the chatter and
In
stuff.
between, it's
in
like
between.
flicking through a million
Yeah,
radio stations.
basically,
one
yeah.
after the other.
in like split seconds. Isn't
Yeah.
It? Like, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then they
Exactly.
reckon the spirits can manipulate that to get words.
Yeah,
Right, so
yeah, and this is why it's so difficult to like hear it.
yeah,
But
when you do hear a word, that's what makes it more like acceptable.
Yeah.
You know, because there otherwise there's just no way you can hear a word, so it's going going that quick.
No.
You know. So, ready to start again?
Let's do it again. I'm ready. Fingers at the ready.
Okay.
Yeah.
Hello. So, my name is Lee again.
I'm Alan.
I'm Leah.
I'm Cassidy.
So, we are speaking to the spirits of the property. Can you please come forward and communicate with us and use that combined energy to communicate? Who was the person here last night? Could you repeat that? Can you give me an age or a date on when you was born? When you guys want to start talking, see if he responds to you. He's not responding to me.
Is the spirit from last night still here?
Do you remember us from last night? Do you remember what you did to Alan? You do remember, don't you?
Sure.
Yeah, you tried to do it to me because you knew I wasn't scared of you. Still not.
Did I say what I think you said?
What-
Shut the fuck up.
It sounded like it sang it.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's why I was like, what did you think it said? Yeah.
You did say that, didn't you?
Yeah.
Did you say that to me? Did you say that to all of us?
So help them. Me.
Yeah.
Help and then me.
Yeah.
Why do you need help? Tell me why you need help. Please. Why don't you show us that you're here? Why don't you make something light up? No. Is that because you can't? Are you not powerful enough to make something light up?
You seemed pretty powerful last night, or well, you tried to be. At the very least you could do is make one of these things light up.
So I was talking to Annie yesterday. Did you come back with us, Annie? Are you here today? Have you got something you'd like to tell us about, Annie? We'd really like to hear.
Okay, so I'm sick of playing these games. So, you know, you come in last night, really aggressive, really violent, but yeah, you're not willing to do it tonight. I mean, are you really that pathetic?
I don't think they're strong enough to do it again, if I'm being honest.
Yeah,
Because if they were, they would have done it by now.
yeah. I mean, how can you be so aggressive in one night and then not communicate with us today? And not even be strong enough to make one of these devices light up, which all you have to do is walk into it. I mean, it's not like it's difficult, is it?
Something on my left side.
Yeah.
Again, always my left side, but I could feel something down my left side.
What's it feel like?
Like a tingling, not like a physical thing, it's like not to make it, but like a tingling on the top of my left side of my arm and
Right.
my side a little bit. Doesn't feel, I'm not scared. It's not making me feel scared, but there's something making the hairs on my neck, on my left side as well.
Is there anyone next to Leah at the moment?
Is there somebody touching me now? Is there somebody stood near me? I'm not afraid. You're not scaring me or anything, so please make yourself known. Alan.
What's that? Go on, you speak.
Are you talking to me?
Yeah.
What do you want? Don't you like me at all?
Yeah, I was just thinking,
Yeah.
I literally
Oh,
just
the
looked
tunes.
at
Took a
the
turn.
that then and then.
Oh, the tunes of the curry house.
Yeah.
It was very tense for a moment, and that just came through. It was like,
Alan, we were all thinking the same thing. I'm so glad you said it. Oh God. Is the person who attacked Alan last night here?
What have you got against me?
Come on, you were speaking really clearly last night. You can do it again tonight. You was asked a question. We expect you to answer it. What have you got against Alan?
Is it because you know he's stronger than you?
This is still here. You just said Alan again. Did you just say Alan?
Yeah, I can make it. I can make out Alan.
Oh,
Can you-
what?
Even I'm hearing
It's
Alan.
saying
Yeah.
a few times. He said it a few times like that. Alan. Alan.
But it's not answering questions. Why did you?
No.
No.
Why?
But that could explain why you got hit yesterday.
Yeah. There's something there, isn't it? Because you weren't really saying much, and it's it's picked your name out. It's the person who wants Alan stood next to me.
Come on, you can't just say a name. You need to let us know more than that. What do you want with Alan? Why can't you? Come on, you're not really giving us anything here.
You okay, Mum? Yeah. If you're still here, make this ball next to me light up. If you still stood next to me, show me, prove it. I can feel something here. I really can.
What do you feel like? Do you feel...
I feel like my hair's moving on the left side of my head. I've still got the tingling at the top. Almost like as if somebody's got the hand in my hair, but not. You know when your hair just moves a little bit and it makes you go tickly? I feel like my hair's doing that underneath. It might just be the hairs on the back of my neck coming up, but on the left side.
Okay.
They've got some real attachment to my left side, these people. That's the third time on my left side. We told you before when we was walking in the grounds to come and talk to us at the house tonight. So we're here. Talk to us. Please.
Have you still got that feeling?
Mm-hmm.
You still got that feeling?
Mm-hmm.
I just want to try something. Okay. What we'll do, we'll play the circle, and then you let me know if the feeling goes.
Okay.
Okay. Alright, so we're going to break the circle now. Okay. So
Still got it.
you still got it?
Yeah. It's not scaring me. I don't feel frightened.
Do you feel cold next to you?
No, it's not cold this time. This is what's weird. It's like I can sense something here on like the nerves on my skin but here, and it felt like not as if somebody's fingers were in my hair. That feeling you get if somebody just gently moves your hair and it makes you tickle a bit,
Yeah.
you know, like that. It was more that, the feeling of that, not like actually somebody was physically moving my hair, like the hairs on the back of your neck.
Yeah. Just the movements.
I feel like I'm going to see somebody when I look to my left, apart from you, Ellen. I do. I feel like, as I kept looking, because I kept thinking, I feel like I'm going to see something.
Yeah.
But not something that's frightening. And again, it's just a feeling. But I do. Is there somebody stood next to me? Please let me know, because I feel like you're here. I feel like you're here near me. Just put your hand there, Alan. Do you feel anything like cooler? I feel like I don't know if I'm making it up. You keep your hands still around just where mine is there. I feel like it's cool, but I don't know whether I can't feel it now.
You see, this is weird. This is weird to me because like it's all about you.
I can't feel it at all now.
Mm.
Whatever that was, if it was anything paranormal, it's not there. No.
This is what I mean. It seems weird because it's all around you. It's like an attachment to you.
It's not scaring me. Whatever it is, and I'm a scaredy cat. I would be scared if I thought, but I don't feel scared of whatever this may or may not be.
Yeah.
Hasn't frightened me, which I'm surprised about, being where I am. It's more like there's somebody there, but not that I don't feel any. I can't believe I'm not reacting more than that.
Yeah.
Kind of chill, which I'm surprised about, but it's gone. Whatever, it's gone completely now.
Yeah.
But I just felt like something there. I was like, please just set the ball off. It's so close to that. If that had gone off, then I'd have been like, right, I'm not making it up. I'm not dreaming.
Yeah.
Because you start thinking, am I just like going funny? But then it lasts.
But that's the thing.
And then it progressed upwards up my neck, like.
But that's the thing. It's not that. It's not what you think it is. I mean, sometimes they can target one person, and I do think on this trip it's you.
Yeah.
Because I haven't experienced anything on this trip.
No.
Neither has Alan, apart from him being attacked like he was.
Well, we have
And
experienced.
Everything that's happened
And they
has
liked
been
you
around
tonight.
It's been
I heard your name so many times then. After the first time, I heard it a lot of times then.
Yeah.
And quite in quick succession.
Yeah.
At one point.
But then when you was asking questions regarding why, that wasn't really to
Nothing.
respond.
No answer.
Yesterday was a lot more intense. Wasn't it?
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, because honestly, when that
The
voice
responses
came
were coming through, weren't they? And the
and
names were coming through, and
I mean, tonight on the other hand, it seems to be quite dead.
Yeah.
It seems to be quite dead.
Definitely. We've not even. I did this over there before.
Yeah.
Because that's where I was getting a lot of this activity when I was holding it yesterday. But there was nothing when I checked before, and I wandered around a bit and then went back to that spot over and over. But we got quite a lot in the hole though, didn't we?
Yeah.
Well, Luke, have you come back?
Have you come back?
Have you come back? You're welcome.
Who's here with us at the moment?
Is it me you want to talk to? If it's me you want to talk to, can you light this up for me? I'm not afraid if you don't worry. I know that I don't need to worry. Please let me know you're there. What was that?
Your box. It's not turned on, is it?
No.
So why does it make a noise? Can you do that again? Can you turn on the box and make it sound?
Or make a bang of any kind. Anywhere on the property, make a bang. No. It's dead. It's dead, isn't it?
They've gone to sleep.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's dead.
Yeah.
Maybe because we went to the Pendle Hill yesterday.
Yeah.
They sort of came with us and then
Yeah.
they sort of went back again.
Yeah. Quite possibly.
Yeah, it was quite high energy, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And there was an eclipse as well.
Yeah. That's true. There was a lot of energy, I suppose, in the air yesterday in general with the eclipse and all the people about.
Yeah. And obviously, your delightful conversation with the spirit.
Yeah. To be fair, when you said you felt something, I was seconds away from calling it everything under the sun until you said, like, I'm fine though. And I was like, oh, okay. All right, I won't call it a coward and a what.
Yeah.
That.
In light of like what we had last night coming through for you, the way it was like angry and aggressive, I felt quite nervous that if anything, even before we went out there, I thought I'm going to feel a bit nervous now because, not nervous, but like, am I going to be on like panic mode and go into what I thought I would be anyway?
Like high alert.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I've not felt of anything tonight apart from that path over on the playground. I've not felt scared, fearful, like I need to be.
Did you think something was there?
Yeah. But I can't be sure if we've not just got scared.
No.
Do you know what I mean? Or if it was weird because we was like, right, let's leave now because it was getting a bit. We felt we were sort of saying we feel a bit jittery now. Yeah. But then when we got to the path and we got on the path, it was literally like for me a switch. All of a sudden, I felt like I just wanted to run. I didn't want to look. I just wanted to go. I didn't run, but only because it was a bit slippy.
But it wasn't an irrational fear for me. This whole I think someone's behind me thing.
Yeah.
I genuinely thought someone's behind me, and that wasn't me getting worked up.
Yeah.
You could feel something.
It felt like something was watching me from behind me.